Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you all? I hope you all are fine with the grace of Almighty Allah. Today activity 10.1.4 packet tracer configure initial router setting. Let's start the practical.
This was the first step. The first step was we need to connect PCA with our console port. Okay, so this is RS232, and here we need to connect with the console port of the router. Okay, once we will connect it, then we need to go to the PC. In the PC, then you can go to the desktop, and here you can connect through the terminal. Okay, press OK, and uh, now enter. But the font size is very small. Let me first increase the font size. Uh, it is visible for everyone. Go to the font. Let me check the font size. Better to be a 14. Apply and close. Okay. Terminal. Now I think now it is okay. So now I'm in PC1. So I connected a console port. Now I'm connected with the router. Okay. So yesterday we have seen we have router 1, PCA, click OK, press enter, and we have seen all these activity yesterday. So how many fast Ethernet interfaces does the router have? Again, just quickly, I'm going to repeat some of the steps, and you will see how we are now here. First of all, okay, let me organize the things again. So I have connected again, please let me repeat it. Okay, I have connected the console port from my PC port RS323 232, and then the console port of the router. Okay, then we need to go to the PCA. In the PCA, you need to select this terminal. Okay, this terminal, and here no need to change any setting. Press OK, and then write enable here, and just we will go through quickly all these steps. What are these steps? First, we need to know, okay, we need to run this command, show running config. If there anything in the running configuration, we will see what is the router name. So if you want to know what is the router name, just type show running config, and you will find the router name. The host name is router, so the host name of this device is router. Okay, and question number 1, what is the router host name? So this is the name of this router. Okay, and how many fast Ethernet does the router have? Yesterday we have seen. So fast Ethernet, we have fast Ethernet interfaces. Yeah, we have fast Ethernet days 1, 2, 3, and 4. So total we have 4 fast Ethernet interfaces. This router have how many? 4. Okay, and how many gigabit interfaces does this router have? Gigabit, if you will scroll up, you will find 2 gigabit interfaces, gigabit 0, and 00. So these are the 2 gigabit. So the answer is 2. How many gigabit Ethernet interfaces does router have? 2. Then we need to see how many serial interfaces does the router have. Serial interfaces. In the serial interfaces, you can find here 1, 2. So how many serial? So does this router have 2 serial interfaces? What is the range of the value shown for the VTY line? If you will go down, so VTY line, yesterday we have discussed here, this is for the telnet, means for remote access. Okay, VTY, virtual terminal lines, so 0 to 4. And so how many virtual terminal lines we have? So we have 4 virtual terminal lines. Display the current content of NVRAM. So we have RAM or NVRAM. So all the configuration, once you will save it on the router, it will save in the NVRAM. So we want to see, is there any configuration is saved in the NVRAM or not? So what is the command? So this command show startup config. So if you write this one, so it will display the content of the NVRAM. So whatever you saved in the NVRAM, you can see here. But currently we did not save anything in the NVRAM, so that is why it is showing the config is not present. Okay, if you will save it, then it will once you will save the configuration, then it will display on the NVRAM. So yesterday topic we discussed all those things. Now we will start from this point to onward. So be connected, and uh, we can finish this activity, and you people can also complete this activity by follow my instructions. Okay, now if you have a difficulty remembering the command, refer to the content of this topic. The commands are same as you configured on the switch. Configure R1 as a host name, so we need to configure the host name of the router. Okay, so now the host name is router, so we can change to R1. Okay, so how we can change it? Just write config terminal, and here you can write host name. So host name is R1. So now we want to change from router to R1. Okay, so how we can change it? Just type host name and whatever the name, but in this the instruction is given, write the name of this router is R1. So now if you will write it, now you can see, so the R1, so the name has been changed to R1. Okay, after that we need to configure the message of the day, mean the banner message. So this banner message mean unauthorized access is strictly prohibited. So how we can do this one? First of all, you need to write banner motd. What is the command? Banner motd. Okay, so here just simply write banner motd. Okay, after that delimiter character you need to write anything, you can do it. So for this, in this activity I'm using double colon, and also use the same delimiter character. Okay, so opening and closing same delimiter character. Okay, so once we will do this way, so it will add this unauthorized access is strictly prohibited, and you will see the completion rate is also 40%. So now you need to encrypt all plain text password. How you can encrypt the plain text password? We have, so privilege exit password. We already discussed about this one. What is the privilege exit password, and what are the two different way we can configure the privilege exit password? Okay, so we have unencrypted and encrypted. So what is the command for encrypted password, and what is the command used for unencrypted? We will see. Now here write enable. Okay, for first unencrypted mean plain text, unencrypted mean plain text. Okay, so enable password. So what is the password? Cisco, CISCO, Cisco. If you write this, now it will you can have a privilege exit password. Okay, but it is unencrypted mean you can see the password. It is, now you can see here. So here if you will see enable password is Cisco, you can see it is in a plain text. Okay, we already discussed about it. And now we need to use a privilege exit encrypted password. Now this time we will use the encrypted password. Encrypted mean coded password. Here we can see the password, you can see it is in a plain text, but once we will use the encrypted one, it will be encoded. Okay, it will be encoded. I will show you how you can do it. Just same command enable, but this time we will use this command, secret command. Okay, secret, it will encrypt the password. Okay, so the password is it's a secret, SECRET. So this is the password. Okay, it's a secret, so this is the password. Now this password and the difference between this one, this command and this command. So the password command, enable password, this command will save the password in a plain text, but this secret command will encrypt the password. Okay, they both are privilege exit password, but this one will be a encrypted one. Okay, now if you want to see, you can just write do show run, and you will see here. See, you can observe here, this is Cisco for the password, for a privilege exit password mean this is unencrypted and this is encrypted. You can see we cannot read this one. This is a not a plain text, this is an encrypted text, encrypted one. So you used encrypted privilege exit password and unencrypted password. Okay, privilege exit. Now we can go to the next step here. So verify the initial stage on router 1. So verify the initial setting by viewing the configuration of router 1. Okay, if you will see here, step number 2, verify. So how you can verify the setting? What command do you use here? So to see the setting here, yes, anyone can tell me? So what is the command here to see the initial setting? What command do you use? So if you will see here, so the command is basically show running config. Okay, so just write, go to this one here, show Control Z, write show running config. Now if you will see here, so the host name, see the host name is router 1, and this is the thing. So you can see the initial setting by viewing the configuration of router 1. What is the command? This one. So the command is, you can write the command here like show running config. Okay, so it will show the basic setting of the router 1. So exit the console session until you see the following message. Now here we can exit the current console session and we will see this output, and then we can read the further instructions. So if you will come here and just write exit, okay, exit, now you can see router console is now available, and press return to get start. So if you will press enter, you should see the following message. This is the message you have seen. Now it will ask you, why should every router have a message of the day? Yes, please. Now here you can see unauthorized access is strictly prohibited. So why should every router have a message of the day banner message? Why should have? The question is, why should every router have a message of the day banner MOTD? So why should have? See here now. Every router should have a banner to warn the unauthorized user, as we discussed in yesterday meeting. So because we need to warn the unauthorized user, who is going to access our router or the switch or the devices, because it is prohibited. We already write it is prohibited, mean it is not allowed. So message of the day banner can also be used to send a message to the network personnel, and at least such as impending system shutdown, or to whom to contact for access. All those banner message you can write it here, okay? But unauthorized access is strictly prohibited message is we are writing to warn the unauthorized user. So we are warning this one. That is why this message is being displayed here. So why should every router have a message of the day? So this is the reason, okay? Just to warn the unauthorized user to access this router, okay? At least we can take some legal action against those who will unauthorized user who try to access this router, okay? If you are not prompted a password before reaching a user exit prompt, what console line command do you forget to configure? Okay, see, if you not prompted for the password, okay, see here, if you will not prompted here, enable password is like, because here we have a password. Let me enter CISC or Cisco. What was the password? Now it's a secret. See here now, privilege. If you need to enter into a privilege exit password, you need to write it's a secret. Just let me write it's a SECRET, secret. Now you can see. So this privilege exit password override the encrypted password. Okay. So this secret password override the plain text password. So if if you will forget to write a console, because the console password, yes, you need to configure the console password. If you forget to write a login command, yes, it will not allow you to, it will not prompt the console command. It will not prompt the exit command, exit prompt. Okay. Verify the initial setting on router 1 and verify the initial setting. Sorry, here we have another thing. Let me in console password. Okay, so here we need to also configure the console password. How you can configure the console password? Configure terminal. So here, if you will see now the how we can configure the console password, just write here line console 0. Yesterday we discussed line console 0, and the password is let me in. Let me in. Okay, so this is the password. Now if you will not write this one login, see the question being asked here, if you forget, see here, if you forget to write this login command, what will happen? What will happen? Suppose if we will not write this one, what will happen? Now you can see here. So exit. See here. Now enable. This is it's a SECRET secret. Now you can see it will not ask the password. See, if you are not prompted for the password before reaching a user exit prompt, what console line command did you forget to configure? Because you did not write the login command. So if you write the login command, okay, then you will it will prompt you this the console password. Okay, now you can see here line console 0. we just need to write this on the login command, because we forget to write this login command. If you have to write this login command, now you can see the difference. Exit. Okay, now you can see, now access, user access, now here, let me in. Now you can see here, it is going to prompt the console password. Okay, now you can see enable, and the password is here, it's a SECRET, secret. Now you can see. So now you understood what is this one. If you not prompt for the password before reaching the user exit prompt, what console line command did you forget? You forget a login command. Okay, so because first we did not configure the login command, that is why it did not ask us a console password. So in order to enable the console password, so you must need to write a login command. You must need to write a login command. Okay, now why would the enable secret password allow access to the privilege exit mode and enable password no longer valid? So this is the question here. Again, why here you can see. So why would the enable secret password allow access to the privilege exit mode and the enable password no longer be valid? But here you can see, here we have encrypted and unencrypted, you can see, but it is not going to ask the Cisco password. Now this is only valid, it's a secret, the secret one. Why? What is the reason? What is the reason? See here, because the enable secret password override the enable password. As I told you before, if both are configured on the router, you must enter enable secret password to enter the privilege exit mode. Please keep it in your mind. This is very important. Okay, so this enable secret will override the simple plain because simple password. Okay, X password. That is why it will not ask, because this is now no more valid, and you need to write this one only, because it is this encrypted password override the plain text password. Why would the enable secret password allow access to this privilege exit mode? Okay, we already done. If you configure any more password on the router, are they displayed in a configuration file as a plain text or in encrypted? Explain. See, again, the question, try to understand here. See, if you configure any more password on a router, are they display in a configuration file as a plain text or encrypted form? Explain. Yes, you can encrypt all the password, with the help of service password encryption command. So you can encrypt all current and the future password if you type this command. Yesterday we have seen a service password encryption command, and it encrypt all the current and the future password. Okay, that is why we can run this command. Okay, but see here, if you will run, all the password will be encrypted. Now show run, you can see here, now this password, it is not encrypted, and see here, this password, it is not encrypted. You can see this is not encrypted. But if you need to encrypt all the password, so which command is used? Yes, yesterday we discussed about configure terminal. Go to the configure terminal, and then you can write service password encryption. Once you will type this one, it will encrypt all current and the future password. All current and the future password. Okay, now you will see here, show run. Now you can see, before this password was not encrypted. Okay, and this line console password was, sorry, where is the line console? See, line console password was not encrypted. Now it is encrypted, just because of this service password encryption command. Service password encryption command. Okay, so now save the running configuration file. Save the running configuration file to NVRAM. So you have to configure the initial setting on router 1. Now back up the running configuration file to the NVRAM to ensure that the change mates are not lost if the system is reboot or losses of power. So what command did you enter to save the configuration to NVRAM? Yesterday we discussed. Okay, now I'm going to type this one, copy running config startup config. Yes, startup config. So this is the command used to save the running configuration to the startup configuration to the NVRAM. Okay, to NVRAM. So this is the, now it will ask the password, show running config startup config. It will ask the destination file name. So we will use a default name. No need to give the name. Let it to be default name. Okay, so this is the name. Okay, now this is the name of the save file. Okay, it's saved with this one. So now here, how many exam. Okay, what is the shortest unambiguous version of this command. Is there any shortcut of this command? Yes, there is a shortcut of this command. Okay, so what is the shortcut? I will just show you. You can simply write cop, then you can see, so cop, then r, okay, then r, and then you can write st. Okay, this is a shortest command. This is the shortest command. Instead of writing a full, okay, you can write cop r st, copy running config startup config. If you will type this one, yes, this is the shortest command. Okay, so if you forget this one, you can write, so instead of this one, you can write this shortest command. Okay, so both having the same, but this is the short and this is a full command. Okay, both have the same function. Okay, and optional, save the startup configuration file to a flash. Okay, so if you need to save, although you will be learning more about managing a flash storage in a router in the later chapter, but you will be interested to know what is and the added backup procedure. You can save your startup configuration file to a flash. Okay, by default the router still load the startup configuration from the NVRAM, but NVRAM become corrupt. You can restore the startup configuration by copying it over from the flash. So this is the NVRAM, but if you need to save this startup configuration to, sorry, you need to this startup configuration, now you can see the name is startup configuration. Yeah, so now if you want to save one more backup on a flash, so how you can do it? So this is also very important. So you can save this one on the flash. Okay, first of all you need to know, so where is the flash and how you can save it. So the question here, examine the content of the flash using a show flash command. Now we will see here, so what is the command here. Here we can write show flash. Okay, so this is the show flash. Now you can see here in the flash, these are the files. These are the files. Okay, so how many files are currently stored in a flash? Yes, how many files are currently stored in a flash? 3, no? 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 3. Yeah, these 3 files. Yes, it has been stored in a flash. So now question, how many files? 3 files. Okay, these are the 3 files, 1, 2, and 3. So which of these files would you guess is the iOS image? Which of these 3 files, among these 3 files, which one is the iOS image? So your running configuration is saved in a RAM, but once you will save this running configuration, it will save in a NVRAM. It is same like the hard disk. But if you need to take the backup, okay, so you always take the backup in a flash drive. So if your NVRAM is corrupted, if anything wrong happened with the NVRAM, still you have a backup in your flash directory or the file. Okay, so which of these files would you guess is the iOS image? Which one is the operating system? iOS mean internet operating system. Operating system, you know, router also have the operating system. Without operating system, it will not work. So which one of the file is your operating system? Which one is the iOS image among these 3? Anyone can guess? Yeah, end of the file is .bin. So always if you have a .bin, okay, at the end of the file name is .bin, it means this is a iOS image. Okay, this is the iOS image file. Okay, so please keep it in your mind. So the third one, this is the iOS image. Okay, and why it is the iOS image? Because at the end, the iOS image extension is bin. Okay, so .bin. If you will see .bin, it means this is the iOS image. Okay, so copy startup config flash. So the router prompts you to store the file into a flash using a name in a bracket. If you answer yes, then press enter. If not, appropriate name and press enter. Now, if you will see here, show flash. Again, see here, show flash. We have only these files. You can see here, we have only 3 files. But we need to save this startup configuration into a flash. Okay, so startup configuration into a flash. So how we can save? Just write copy. So what we need to copy? This startup configuration. Okay, startup configuration where we want to save in a flash. Okay, so now we want the same name. No need to change. If you want to change, you can change it. Otherwise, take it as a default one. Okay, start. Now you can see here it is saved, copied this number of bytes. Now we want to see whether it has been copied or not. We want to show the flash. We want to display the flash. Now you can see here. Before it was 3 files. Yeah. Now this is the 4th one. Startup configuration. This is startup configuration. So we have saved this file in our flash directory. Okay, in a flash directory, system flash directory. Okay, so this is the activity, and I hope you understood all the concepts.